Hi guys, my name is Chirag Gupta. I'm the managing partner for 8X Ventures. In this video, I wanted to talk about the competition slide. If there is one slide that every VC reads in every pitch deck that I go through, and that's the competition slide. And you'll be surprised how many times I've received a competition slide and I felt very confused or less informed or as much as I wanted to be. So this video has 3 recommendations on how to prepare your competition slide to get through the VCs. Recommendation number 1, use a table to talk about your competition. No magic quadrant, no Venn diagram, use a table. In the table, the first column is you as a company and all the other columns are potential competition or existing competition. When you're sorting the competition from left to right, talk about your most critical competition at the left and the least critical competition at the right. When you're talking about the rows, put the value proposition, but just don't be navel gazing and talk about the value proposition that you think is important. What about the value proposition that is important to the industry, to the users, to the suppliers? And that's how you start differentiating yourself. Now in that grid, when you have competition and the value proposition, you can use a Harvey ball or you can use a simple check marks in a cross to clearly identify how do you differentiate against your competition. But when you're filling up the grids, be very mindful not to fake it. If you do not have information about any particular company or any particular value proposition, it's okay to leave certain grids blank, but it's not okay to assume that your competition does not do it. Don't put a cross when you're not sure. You can put a star with a footnote that you do not have that information or you have not been able to source that information so far. You'll be surprised sometimes VCs can actually help you with that competition slide when you leave it blank. So that's a recommendation 1. Recommendation number 2, know your Google search results. Every time I receive a pitch deck, and I'm sure a lot of other VCs receive a pitch deck, the first thing that I do in the meeting is I will use your keywords to identify your competition on the Google search. And the interesting part is sometimes the startups have no idea what kind of search results popped up, and when I ask them exactly how are you different from this company number 3 on the Google list, or why this particular company is not featured in your competition table, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So startups, if you want to be ahead of the VC game, make sure that you do a thorough Google search on your competition using all potential keywords that you have used in your pitch deck. And not just Google, think about a Bing search or other search engines which are getting popular or have been popular as well. That's the recommendation number 2. Recommendation number 3 is to talk about sustainable competitive advantage. More often than not, startups get bogged down by the product features or short-term competitive advantage. A discount of 10% against your competition is not a sustainable competitive advantage. A sustainable competitive advantage is something that makes sure that you cannot be imitated by a competition easily. It also talks about how you will make sure that you are always ahead of the technology curve. So that's the recommendation number 3 on sustainable competitive advantage. So startups, next time you're going to a VC conversation, follow these 3 recommendations to kill your competition slide. Good luck.